Yo, what's going on, everyone? It is Chimsir here. I want to talk about something a bit different today. For those of you who don't know, Eminem's newest album, he dropped a surprise album on August the 31st, a couple of days ago, called Kamikaze. And it's mostly a big reaction to the backlash his Revival album received in last year, I believe October it was. And Revival wasn't a very good album. Let's be real here. It didn't feel like Eminem at all. A lot of people say it didn't feel like Slim Shady, and that's a bad thing. And obviously, Kamikaze is an attempt to recapture Slim Shady. And everyone wants Slim Shady back. Slim Shady is why everyone fell in love with Eminem, and Revival definitely was nowhere near that. But Revival just didn't really feel like Eminem at all, really. Out of all of the songs on Revival, only funny enough, Walk on Water and River were the two ones that I enjoyed the most, and apparently they're the ones that everyone else had a problem with, but I enjoyed both. But let's face it, the River was Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran made that song. Walk on Water was, I forget who it was. It wasn't Beyonce, was it? But whoever it was, she made that song. Eminem was just sort of like a backup vocalist on the song, it felt like. And the rest of the album was just not really that good at all. I mean, Frame was okay, but that's about it, really. But this album, though, whoa! This is what I want to see. This is Eminem being very angry, very aggressive, very pissed off at the negative attention that he's received. And rightly so, I think, because, here's the thing. When I say Revival wasn't a good album, I just mean it wasn't a good Eminem album. I hold Eminem to a different standard that I hold everyone else, and I think that most people do as well, because, we're people who are like, I'm 22, I grew up listening to Eminem back when I was very young, back in the fucking 90s. I was one of the kids he would always rant about and that shit. I remember being in Singapore in like 2004 or something on like a family vacation, and Eminem's new album, I forget which one it was, but it was just being released, and it was illegal in Singapore because it's vulgar and dirty, and Singapore's a fucking fascist shithole. But my parents somehow managed to get it. Me and my sister listened to it, and I loved it. I've always loved Eminem. He's always been somebody you could turn to when you're angry to just fucking vibe to the music. It was great. And this really recaptures a lot of that. But here's the thing. I don't think this album is Slim Shady. I think the closest song to Slim Shady is the second song, Greatest, where he says it's shady on the lyrics, and I agree, that song is the most Shady-esque. But the thing with Slim Shady is Slim Shady wasn't just angry. Okay, angry Eminem has always existed. The Marshall Mathers LP 1 had it was The Way I Am. Yeah, that was on Marshall Mathers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. The Way I Am was on Marshall Mathers LP 1, and that The Way I Am wasn't Slim Shady. That was, to me, just angry Eminem. Same thing with Rap God, in my opinion. Rap God didn't really seem like Slim Shady to me. It just seemed like angry Eminem. Though Rap God was probably his most Slim Shady-esque song since the old days. And the reason why I say that is because Slim Shady has this playfulness to all of the music that he makes, right? I mean, just look at Without Me. Look at real Slim Shady. Even look at some of the goofy songs like My Fault, for instance. My Fault is literally just a song about him getting a girl high on mushrooms and making an overdose, and she ends up dying. It's just a goofy. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Listen to Criminal, right? Criminal is the quintessential Slim Shady song. It is my favorite Eminem song ever. It's from the original Marshall Mathers LP, Criminal. Go listen to that song. It is outrageously offensive. It is incredibly angry, but it's very playful. It's got this funny dun 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 beat. It's upbeat. It's almost jovial when it's angry. Listen to Without Me, the goofy saxophone beat, and the music video, the whole Batman thing. It's very, very goofy, but it's very angry and it's very sincere too. And Real Slim Shady, I mean, we all know that song. Very, very goofy, but very, very angry, and still shares his thoughts. And that's why I say that, nothing on this album is really Slim Shady. And the Greatest is Greatest. The greatest Slim Shady song on this album is Greatest, because it's where he's the most playful, in my opinion, with his references like the Mandalay Bay shooting and shit like that. That's like Slim Shady to me. It's just like Slim Shady light, but it doesn't even matter, Eminem doesn't need to retake the label of Slim Shady. I really don't think he does. I think that angry Eminem is enough for all of us, because that's what we love. We love angry Eminem. And it's good to see that he still has that anger, you know? Revival tried to make us believe that, you know, he'd left that anger behind, but come on. Someone like that doesn't just leave their anger behind, you know? It's like, if you listen to his previous music, there's no way you can look at that and go, oh yeah, he's completely changed from all that. No, hell no. No, he's still the same guy. He's just tried to keep it together, because I don't know what song he says it on. I think it might be 4, but he says, you know, he used to have nothing to lose, but now he does. He has too much to lose. And that's a real shame, you know, because you can see it in the lyrics a little bit. He's nowhere near as offensive as he used to be, you know. He censored the word faggot in 4, I believe it was again. 4 was like one of my favorites on this album too. I was like, why? Obviously, he's still getting the controversy over it because everyone knows what he said, but, you know, why censor it? You're fucking Eminem, dude, and if you're trying to recapture some Shady, you can't censor that shit. Just go for it, okay? Why are you letting Paul and Dre hold you down, man? Just go for that shit. Drop a nigger while you're there. Jesus Christ. You know, just do something crazy. I don't give a shit. I'd love it. But, like, I'm still incredibly happy with this album. I think this is fucking great. If I was to give Revival, like, a 2 out of 10 on the Eminem scale, this would be, like, a 4.5. Like, The Ringer is a beautiful way to open. Starting off with dissing all the little faggot face tattoo mumble rappers of these days. Great. I love it. Greatest was probably my favorite track on the album. Just, it's like Rap God Light, but I'm not trying to sell it short. It's incredibly good, a showcase of his talent, and, you know, the most Slim Shady song, the most crazy song. Lucky You is good as well, but, you know, the Normal is, I don't really like Normal. I'm good to see the Paul skits back, by the way. They're great. Normal is sort of just like, yeah, whatever. It wasn't bad. Like, nothing on this album is bad, in my opinion. Everything is okay. But Normal, Nice Guy, Good Guy, and Venom to me were just sort of like, they're not going on my iPod, you know. On the other hand, Stepping Stone is like the only song that really deviates from, well, all the songs I just mentioned and Stepping Stone are the ones that deviate from all, like, the dissing and shit. Which we all love and we're all listening to this album for. Stepping Stone's the only one, along with those ones, that actually does. But Stepping Stone is great. Stepping Stone is all about his, you know, regret of the past, of, you know, basically using all the other rappers of his time, D12 and all, to get himself to fame. And, you know, just the way it's all come full circle, and now they're using him to get to fame, and basically it's just like he has to let that go. He has to move on. And, you know, the last line of the song, he says D12 is over. D12 is straight up over. D12 is not there as a group anymore, you know? Though I'm sure most of us could probably agree that D12 was sort of over when Proof died. It still stuck around, you know, ostensibly. But now Eminem has basically said, no, you know, D12 is done. You know, we're not the group anymore. We can't recapture that time and that era. It's not possible. And he's tried. And I think he's still trying now, but I think he's succeeded now. Because I fucking will be looking at everything. After Revival, I don't care what Eminem makes. Which is why I think it was really good that that he dropped this as a surprise album. He didn't, like, say, oh, I'm going to release a new album. Like, he just dropped it. Because if he had just been like, oh, I'm going to release a new album soon, everyone would be like, oh, this is going to be shit. Who cares? Because he just fucking slammed it on us. We just went, okay, wow, he just slammed an album once. So, you know, it's probably going to be shit because Revival is shit, but let's listen to it. You know, let's check it out. And yeah, it's fucking great. Like I said, Nice Guy, Good Guy, Venom, Normal, not bad songs, not going on my iPod though. But The Ringer, Greatest, Lucky You, Stepping Stone, Not Alike, Fall, Kamikaze was great. The titular song of the album, fucking brilliant. I love it. And you know, the Kamikaze is also more like a Slim Shady song too, because it's like, hey, Slim Shady was self-destructive. He was like, I'm fucking. That's just a metaphor. I'm just psycho. I'm crazy. I'm nuts. I'm self-destructive, but it's entertaining. That's what Slim Shady was, and Kamikaze encapsulates that too incredibly well. Yeah, Kamikaze. So probably my favorite songs in this album in order, probably like Greatest would be number 1, Kamikaze, probably The Ringer, and then Stepping Stones, and then Not Alike and Lucky You, and then the rest under that. If you haven't checked this album out yet, I highly recommend you do. It's great. If you love classic Eminem, this is going to be a massive throwback to that. Like I said, in my opinion, it's not Slim Shady. Everybody else seems to be saying it is. I don't agree. But it doesn't matter. This is angry Eminem. This is Eminem with passion and with fire and with, you know, all the things that we want to see from him. And, you know, as a long-time fan, I got to say, Marshall, I'm eagerly awaiting everything else you put out, man. I love it. I love you. I love what you're doing. And this is a great way to bounce back from Revival. So, yeah. Check the album out. I'll be streaming tonight, probably playing it on there. But, yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Buy Revival. Trust me. You'll love it. Later.